We do pretty good with philosophy. You can sit around a table with a bunch of people and philosophically address almost any subject in the world, and people will join in and they'll crinkle their brow and get very deep and bring out information they've found of statistics over the years and or insights that they have. The journey from philosophy to practicality is where we have a trouble as human beings. For in other words, you can talk to me about sin, but you don't dare call me a sinner. You can talk to me about needing to change your life, but don't ask me to change mine. It's just the way we are. So as long as we were talking about keeping America beautiful or not littering, philosophically, who could disagree, Yes, we need to clean up our environment. But then when it switched over to practicality, well, what are you doing with your trash cans? What are you doing when you get done eating your fast food? Are you throwing it away or are you tossing it on the ground? Well, the practicality became the problem. Same thing with the seat belts. We went over this week. Philosophically talking about, wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody survived car accidents? Who's going to object to that? Who's going to say, well, no, I really count on that death toll to give me a sense of purpose, Nobody's going to do that. Philosophically, we were fine on seatbelts until it became a practical issue of, yes, when you get in a car and you sit your butt down, you need to fasten that thing. Then we pulled all sorts of strings. We wailed about freedom, freedom. You're not going to tell me what to do. I don't know whether that shouldn't be the slogan in America. You're not going to tell me what to do. So it reached a point where we discussed this week, I'm just chatting at you, where philosophy had to become practicality, where what we discussed philosophically and agreed on had to find a way to make it practical to where it could become a reality instead of just something we discussed. It's the same thing we're going through with racism. The same thing we're going through with what we call free speech. Well, it's the land of free speech. You should be able to say whatever you want to. Really? What else do I get to do whatever I want to of? Why would speech suddenly be the thing, the holy grail that I get to do whatever I want to of? I'm limited, as I should be limited, because I am not good when I'm without limits. I need some corrals. I need some boundaries. So we did it with littering. We made it illegal. We fined it. We did it with seatbelts. We made it mandatory to wear them, and we find it. Now we run across this situation with racism, and here we go again, being philosophical. Well, what do you think, Lucy? Well, here's what I think, Bill. Well, what do you think, Frank? Well, I'll tell you, we don't want any racism in this country. Oh, who could disagree with that? Most people don't disagree with that if you sit around a table and philosophically discuss it. It's when it becomes practical. How do we reach a point where racism is eliminated because it has been pigeonholed in this area where it's now considered nasty? It's now considered, are you kidding me? It's now considered, isn't that part of the past? We keep insisting our young people, haven't picked up any racism. Of course they have. It's still a racist society, It's not only people over 65 years old who are policemen over 65 years old shooting black people. These guys shooting the black people are 30, 35, 40 years old, what we consider to be the new generation. So now we got to know, how do we change this? How do we change it from the philosophical to the practical?